Moderator John Dickerson is with us. Good morning.
Hello, Charlie.
With the victory of John Kasich in Ohio, denying Donald Trump with 66 delegates, does that mean that the Republicans who oppose Donald Trump can now stop him from getting enough delegates before the convention?
They sure hope so. I mean, they see this, it's a glimmer for them. The idea is that they stop Trump from getting that 1,237, but that requires them continuing to stop him along the line. And the question is whether they do that, whether Senator Cruz peels those delegates away from Trump in the future contest, or whether Kasich does, and we'll just have to see that play out. But it gives them a little hope.
But I know it's really early in the morning, and so I apologize for making you do the math. But for John Kasich to win the nomination, he would have to win what, like 115% of the delegates from
he'd have to bring some new states into the union, get those states to create delegates, and then win those delegates.
That's not a strategy, is it?
Right. The strategy is to stop Trump and then get to Cleveland, where the convention will be held, and then have a convention fight. But even in that strategy for John Kasich, he's got somebody in front of him, who is Ted Cruz. Yeah. And Ted Cruz will have delegates there. He'll be closer to Trump. But Trump will have a strong argument at the convention, which is likely to be, I have more delegates than anybody else. And even if he doesn't get to the magic number, he'll have more delegates. And that's a strong argument for him.
And what do you make of Marco Rubio? The polls closed in Florida at 8 o'clock. By 8:13, he was in front of the camera saying, I'm out. Yeah. And what did you make of his speech? You talked about fractured party, fractured nation.
The speech was in the dark almost. And that was both its content and the way it looked. Because he said there's no more hope and optimism in this race. And that was a pretty extraordinary thing to say, that hope and optimism are gone from the race. He congratulated himself for not being angry and running his campaign on anger. He didn't mention Donald Trump's name, but that's exactly what he was aiming at.
And where do his supporters go now, do you think?
I think they probably go a little bit to Kasich, but some might also go to Cruz as the way to stop Donald Trump. So we'll have to see. But I think they probably go a little bit more to Kasich, but probably split to both.
An interesting point in the New York Times today by Michael Barbaro saying, but Donald J. Trump and Hillary Clinton's resounding triumphs on Tuesday mask a profound, historic, and unusual reality. Most Americans still don't like him or her.
Yeah. We haven't had this for a long time. Maybe you go back to Grover Cleveland versus James G. Blaine, two nominees of parties who had big challenges facing them. And that's, we're going to have to figure out how that goes. But we've, at the moment, got people who are not seen by the larger electorate as honest and trustworthy. In Ohio, 30% of the Republicans said they wouldn't vote for Trump. These are candidates with issues.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Good to